All right, guys, we are back with another episode of We Got Your Mail. What is We Got Your Mail? I'm glad you asked because this is a situation where our neighbors might receive some mail and maybe it might come to the wrong address by mistake. And so, in that situation, what we do is we read them out here on our channel.
We
So,
open your mail
we've opened your mail.
before we return.
Oh, man, I didn't even think of it that way.
We opened your mail.
Well, now, technically, without hacking, but technically no, but in a way, kind of. Yeah, we straight up opened your mail. What now? So I mean, you want to sue me? Bring it on. But hey, Sean, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. All right. So let's see what kind of. Hopefully, we don't have too many of one topic. Fire away.
All right. Okay. So the first letter comes from a Jacob Caulfield. Sorry if I messed your name up. And Jacob Caulfield writes, "Hey guys, just wanted to say I love your guys' show. Aw,
Thank you. Thank you.
keep up the great work. My question: how would you guys feel if in episode 8, Rey turned to the dark side and killed Luke, and Kylo went to the light side? Then in episode 9, it was Rey versus Kylo for the final showdown. I know it's a stretch, but Ryan Johnson would be the one to do this. So, I mean, what would you think if after what we saw on, that's a theory that's going around, and everybody's thinking, will Rey go to the dark side and will Kai, be redeemed?
So we're talking about a flip floppity.
Yeah, crisscross, like throw mama from the train, crisscross. What do you think? Is this possible? Is Kylo Ren redeemable?
I don't think so. No, I think that I think that he killed such a prolific character. There's no way he's coming back from killing Han Solo.
Spot on answer. Fuck Kylo Ren. He killed Han Solo.
Yeah, he's done. He's done. I'm waiting for Daisy to shove that laser dildo up his ass.
Exactly. Now, if Kylo was able to convince Rey to turn to the dark side, and they both were in the dark side, oh wow,
be in trouble. Luke would have to whoop that ass.
In trouble. Then Luke is the only Skywalker left to just kick some ass. That would be interesting. But I think they're setting up Rey to be like a mix between Han Solo, Luke, and Leia all in one kind of a character. So I don't think she's going to the dark side. I hope not. No.
No, she's a good guy. She's replacing old Luke. Yeah,
but
she's like a transgender Luke Skywalker.
But it's an interesting theory, but it's one that's been going around. But I don't think so. I mean, we can forgive. I think Darth Vader can be redeemed because it's been like what 20 years. He found out that his kids were alive. He didn't want his kid to be dead. And we didn't technically see. We know he did it, but we didn't see on film him killing those kids. So we can forgive him. We don't know those kids, but we know Han Solo, so we don't care. So we're gonna keep with the theme. I know you said we don't want this theme to be all about one topic, but once again, here's another Star Wars one. And the question is, okay, so this is from Joe Baker, and he writes, so based off of what we saw at the end of The Force Awakens, do you guys think that we will see Kylo Ren become a full-on Sith Lord and become as powerful as Vader? Or do you think Kylo may be, I'm not going to ask that second part because it's all about the redemption thing again, and we just answered that. So I'll keep it with our Star Wars theme, kind of. Is Kylo going to be a full-on Lord of the Sith?
Yes.
You think so?
I think that because of the epic background history and so long of it being like a legend in the cinema industry, Darth Vader, that this new guy has to do something outrageous, which we started with by killing Han Solo. So I think that his power level, that they'll make him like he's like a super Sith Lord. But I don't know as far as how legendary he becomes. We'll see.
I'm gonna say it depends. It depends on who Snoke is and what he is. I mean, Snoke is the supreme leader. Snoke, is he a Sith? Is he a Sith Lord? What is he? I mean, only a Sith Lord can make you an official Sith, just like only a Master can make you a Jedi or a Jedi Knight, or the Council can make you a Jedi vote to make you a Master. So It all depends. To me, it all depends on whatever the hell Snoke is. If it's obviously he knows the Force, but if he's not a Lord of the Sith, he can't do shit.
Well, I will say they will make him all powerful. He will be a gangster
You think
in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, all powerful. Yeah, I agree. Agreed. All right, so moving on from, and if this next one is another Star Wars one, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to answer it on another episode. So the next question, let's see. Let me scan it really fast. Make sure it's not. I don't see the word Star or Wars or Ray. So it comes from Jinrimi Kami. I'm sorry if I butchered that. It says, hi, my name is Jay Kami, and I've been watching your show, the other guy's show, for a long, long time. My question is to you guys is what are the most underrated and overrated movies of all time? Sean, do you know what it's gonna be hard to just come up with a list off the top of the head. What is let's start with the most overrated. That should be easier.
Oh my God.
No. What do you think? What's easier? What do you want to start with?
That's so hard. Both of those questions are so hard.
Most overrated movie.
I mean, this is like harder than a sweaty at a porn convention. I mean, this is a hard fucking question.
That was a vision in my head that I didn't need. What is the most overrated film and the most underrated films? The most underrated films, probably. I'm just gonna say something right off the bat. I'm gonna say the Raid movies. If you haven't seen the Raid 1 or Raid 2, people in America need to watch those movies. I mean, these guys need to be choreographing all of our action movies here in the States because the fights were so realistic, so bloody, so well done. That then he said it's not really underrated, but it's not getting the recognition I feel like these guys as choreographers deserve. They made everything look realistic and bloody and violent. I'm hoping that Batman gets choreographed by these guys. That's how good these guys have. Sean, have you seen the Raid movies?
Yes.
No, those movies to me need a little bit more shine on those.
They kind of did come under the radar. I mean, it's hard to market a walking down the street kung fu action shoot 'em up type movie now. It's not like back in the 80s and the 90s where they were having Van Damme and Seagal and Chuck Norris and all this other stuff. It's hard to market movies like that. So
for overrated,
I'd say
it's probably gonna
go ahead.
Well, you got one?
I've got one, but people are gonna be like, "That's blasphemy."
Go for it. Let's hear it. It's probably going to be better than I was just
overrated movie in history. It would either be The Wizard of Oz or Gone with the Wind.
Why was I thinking that? But I don't agree.
Gone
But I
with
was
the Wind.
To say something to make everybody upset. Like saying Wizard of Oz, Casablanca, all the classics.
I mean, but don't get me wrong, guys. They're great movies, but people are just like, oh, it's the greatest thing ever. And for its time, yeah. But there's a ton of movies out there.
Yeah, I mean, and just like the great Campy always tells us, movies are all subjective. Just because you had an orgasm when you watched The Wizard of Oz doesn't mean that I'm gonna have one when I watch it.
I'd say definitely. I think. Yeah, I would probably say Wizard of Oz over Gone with the Wind because Gone with the Wind is, I think, a better movie than The Wizard of Oz. Yeah, so I'd say Wizard of Oz.
I'm thinking the Transformers 2, 3, and 4 are all overrated. They all made the money that counts that they're great, but as far as quality, no, they are not that good. I'm sure people are going to be commenting and talking about, what's overrated?
Yeah, they're going to be just laying into us. I know, but you always hear about these movies, so
exactly. All right,
we're not saying they're bad. Don't get
it's just something
wrong.
we got to.
We're not saying they're bad.
That's a question. That's a thinker. That's a question that we have to take some time to. We might have to make a separate.
I didn't even want to answer that question when you asked it. We didn't go over this section before we started filming, guys. This was kind of like we try to make it random, so you're on the spot under pressure. Yeah. As soon as he asked me what's the most and the worst, I'm like, oh no.
You just went for it, didn't you, buddy?
You just punched me in my digital balls. It's like I don't know what to say.
Hopefully, Brian Winrich won't punch the other ball because he asks the next question here, and he says, "Hey, folks, is it possible for Mel Gibson to come back and become a heavy hitter director/actor again? If the world can look past Woody Allen marrying his adopted daughter, surely we can look past a person with an addiction saying stupid things under the influence. With Mel Gibson clean and sober, allegedly,
I'd be happy to answer this thing."
And Hacksaw Ridge coming together under his direction, not to mention Bloodfather for his acting. Will the world be ready to kiss and make up with Mel Gibson?
Okay, So this is kind of a complicated question, or a complicated answer for a pretty
Very
straightforward
complicated
question.
question. Yeah.
Um, I I think we have seen the peak of Mel Gibson. He was like at one point the biggest movie star in the world. I mean, will we ever see that again? I'm sorry to say no. But will he ever make another good movie or star in another good movie? Sure, sure. I just don't think we're gonna see that. I mean, like when The Passion of the Christ and Braveheart and Lethal Weapon. Oh my God, we're talking Mel Gibson in his prime. But now, no, it's never gonna be like it was. No matter what the public thinks about him, he's just. I hate to say it because it makes me feel older, but he's just too old to do that anymore. He just doesn't have the. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He's in the
movies.
greatest shape of his life.
Yeah,
Ever.
but
He's in great shape now, and his acting hasn't suffered. But
no, he's
like,
never.
I agree with you. It's just
It's over. It's peaked and it's on the downhill slide. So
directing depends. It just depends on what producers are willing to give him another chance. I mean, I don't know if his money is dried up or not. He could start producing these films himself. So I feel like directing, I don't think acting wise he hasn't lost it, because if anybody's seen the Expendables 3, he, as far as acting wise, that scene in the van, that was written by him. He suggested that to Sylvester Stallone and said, hey, I got an idea for this scene. I want to make it a little longer. I want to write something. Can you read it? Let me know what you think, and if you like it, can we put it in? And Sylvester Stallone read it and he loved it, and it was the best scene of the movie, in my opinion. That if you haven't seen Expendables 3, watch that van scene when spoiler alert, when Mel Gibson's character gets captured, and listen to everything that he says. I mean, it's intense. So the acting part, he hasn't lost it, but that doesn't mean that people are going to give him a chance. The directing part, I say he needs to start producing his own films, and maybe he could start chipping away at it and getting back in the limelight again. I think it's been enough time, but you're right. He's peaked. So who knows?
he's never going to be bigger than Braveheart was.
He's never going to be bigger than that. And well, technically, The Passion of the Christ was bigger than Braveheart, but that was because of what it was. But nobody's talking about Passion of the Christ today. They're talking about Braveheart. So I see what you meant there. I know I went technical on you, but I agree with you. So let's move on to the last question. And the last question of the night is from it's a long one, but I'm only going to read part. I'm going to get to the chase. Cut to the chase. Jermaine Sneed. He says, "Hey guys, it says I heard people on the internet talking about Will Smith being sad to hear that his character from ID2 dying, testing out the new alien-based aircraft. I also heard people joking, what if he's not actually dead? It got me thinking, what if the aliens detected the aircraft it was based on their technology, captured Will Smith's character, and made it look like he was dead? Smith is being tortured for information about how Earth's defeated the first wave and the new line of defenses on Earth and blah, blah, blah. And so basically does this make sense? Or should I seriously never speculate again? That's his question.
Don't ask that kind of question.
So this is a speculation question for the upcoming Independence, Insurgents,
Regurgence.
Do you think Will Smith's character is alive? Do they leave a little snippet of a door open, or do you think this is all a setup? Do you believe that Will Smith's character will make an appearance at the end, or like a cutscene thing?
No, I don't think that he's going to appear, at least not as Will Smith. He will not appear in this movie at all.
They're going to do a mummy thing where he's like a digital alien?
They will not even use his likeness. He was blown to bits.
Well, his picture was used in the trailer, so we know a picture of him was used. Yeah, his son was looking at a picture of him.
Oh, well,
I don't know. This could be the biggest rope-a-dope.
They may say
Hollywood.
He's dead. He's presumed dead, but we never found his body. So that if this, under the very unlikely scenario, makes a lot of money, they'll bring his ass back for the third one.
Let's do a rumors and specs about this topic, because I want to go deeper in this one. I'm gonna leave the door open. I'm thinking when the film was because originally when the director wrote this movie, he wrote two scripts, one with him in it, one with him out of it. He saw the writing on the wall. Will Smith was asking for too much for Hollywood. He wanted his son to be in all these movies. They weren't even the ones that the producers finally gave into him and gave him what he wanted. Those movies didn't do great. After Earth and whatnot. And this guy was the first one to hold the line and say no. I mean, technically, he was one of the reasons why Will Smith is famous today.
Roland Emmerich.
Yeah, him and Michael Bay. So it's like, dude, like you can't just do this for the fans or for what it is. You're gonna act like Will Smith to me. So okay, fine.
Fuck
no.
You.
And he stood his ground, and then it forced Will Smith to stop, acting like an ass, and he went to go do the Concussion movie, and now he's in Suicide Squad, movies he probably wouldn't have even looked at because he thought he was still Will Smith. So now I feel like we got quality movies coming out of him again. And I think while they were filming ID2, maybe he came back and said, hey, you still got a little part for the brother, maybe. No, you don't.
No, I don't think he's going to be in it. The only way that he will get involved in this project is if, like I said, the unlikely event that this movie makes money, he'll want a part of that. The third,
he'll want it, but here's my counter to that.
Will Roland give it to him?
Why would we even want to give it to you? Because we prove we can make a better movie than the original without you.
Fuck you! No, you screwed us, man. We had you. We were giving you money.
You
had to be a bitch. So we,
exactly. So that's I think me and Sean are on the same. I'm gonna hold a little snippet of.
Like, now you want to be in the movie. Now you want to be in the movie.
Well, here's why. This could be all those stories about how Will Smith, asked for more money and they said no, and this whole blowout and 2 scripts. What if it was all a plot to give us a cool cutscene at the end of the movie, or a surprise that he's still alive at the end of the movie? What if this all was a marketing setup?
Unlikely, but possible.
Unlikely, but possible. That's true.
We're gonna have to deal with them Hemsworths.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I guess we'll find out. Well, I mean, what do you guys think? That's the end of this episode of We Got Your Mail. We're going to send out word to all of you guys the questions that we read out, let you know what happened to your letter. And no, Sean, this isn't a situation where we legally, committed a felony and opened up another's envelope. I swear.
You sent it to Chris. You didn't send it to me.
Yeah, so this is all legit. There was no hacking involved. And even if you got a problem with it, guys, come on, bring it down.
Chris can't hack shit.
I can't hack shit. If I could hack, oh man, you don't even know. We'd have like 1 billion subscribers. Whoa. But let us know what you guys think. Always send us more. If you want to reach out to us, you can send us. Come to this channel, hit that about button, and you can send us a direct. Hit that send message button and send us a direct email. You can hit us up on Twitter. We are at T3 Medias on Twitter, and we also have a Facebook page. So send us your questions, comments, and concerns all the time, and we'll read it out right here on Talking Through the Medias. And as always,
start that T3 campaign. T3 at the
we'll start that T3 campaign for. Oh man, we appreciate you guys, and as always, subscribe, like, share, keep killing the noobs, and what?
Watching the movies, playing the games, and killing the noobs.
Say something can be campy, and I gotta admit, I didn't Google it until today. I've been hearing it for years, and I guess I could kind of use it in a sentence.